What's up, everyone? Welcome back to This Week in Bullshit. My name is Justin Proper, your host of This Week in Bullshit, and we have a lot to cover for this week. But just to start out, some people were, asking me and were kind of confused that last week we didn't touch on, George Floyd or any of the protests that were going on, and there have been a lot more things that have happened the last week since then. And I just want to point it out that, first off, it's absolutely terrible what has been going on. However, and my heart goes out to everyone who's been affected by this, as well as, I'm sure my panelists would say the same thing. But this show is not about, reminding everybody of the horribleness that is going on in the world. It is not about reiterating other people's points. It's not about, bringing up this serious conversation that could potentially have somebody get hurt in the middle of it. That's not what this show is about. It's a show about escaping from the seriousness and just laughing at the world. So while we will talk about things that have happened in protests or things that have been going on in relation to it, we're not going to go into the serious stuff because there are other channels that you could check out if you want to explore that. So without further ado, welcome back, everybody. And I'm going to introduce the panelists who are here right now. First off, our Dick from the UK, Spartan Jeremy, is here. What is up, man?
I have to get up on my soapbox a minute. Why is the white man going first?
I'm the host.
I know. I can make jokes, damn it. But hello, everybody. They might not be good jokes, but I can make jokes.
Yeah. You should really call Generation Productions for jokes. and also from the Queen's Council and many other streams, we have LaReina Creole, who's also started her own channel, which we love. By the way, the Queen's Council is going to be on your channel tonight. Is that right? We can't hear you. You're muted.
Okay, I did that so no one would hear me burp after I took a big swig of soda.
Okay.
I did the same thing.
But yes, the Queen's Council is going to be on my channel tonight at 9 p.m. So hope to see everyone there.
And one of our guests of honor, of course, one of the guys who kind of helped, actually was the person who exposed the Netflix edit of the Back to the Future Part 2, Salty Nerd of the Salty Nerd podcast. What is up, man?
Hey, how's everybody doing?
Doing great. All right. And someone who is late, but is better late than never, I suppose, Wes Moody of the Wes Moody webcast.
Hail chat.
Wait, he's
In-N-Out Burger was late. I haven't even had a chance to dig into it. I was stuck in that freaking drive-thru for half an hour.
Oh, I'm so jealous. In-N-Out Burger. One of the few things I miss about LA.
Why do you have to rub it in, man? That's not cool.
Rub it in? Are you kidding me? I'm gonna have to wait an hour to eat this now. Jeez.
You've turned blonde since the last time we saw you.
Have I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I've been getting a lot of sun.
Let's see. Yeah. You definitely are turning blonde. I don't know what's going on with you, man.
Oh no.
What are you turning into Macklemore? What's wrong with you?
I guess so. Does it look
well,
good?
we're gonna.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it doesn't look bad. Not gonna lie.
Oh,
so we're gonna say hello to the chat. Thank you, Spartan Jeremy, for the dislike for waiting. Hopefully, it's just a taste of my own medicine. I do that with every single. Live stream. Ask Salty. Even back in the Senate, I would always do that, even if I was on the panel, every single time.
It's a tradition.
I sent that about 2 hours ago.
Miss Sarcastic Nerd says, "Awesome sauce." Well, thank you, Miss. Good to see you here. Tommy is here. He's going to be modding. Thank you, Tommy, as always.
Yes.
Will Gentry says, "Dislike because I know what's coming and it's nasty." As yes. Yeah, it's going to be disgusting. We'll try to ease into that. Culture Casino says, there he is. Yep.
Wait, you can't ease into something like that proper. You can't.
Oh, no. Just a quick preview of what, for people who have no idea, this is just a little glimpse of what we'll be talking about. just to give you a. You knew that was coming.
Ooh, I forgot about
That is the only hint. The
It's
only
the best
hint that
intro for this show.
I know. That should be the intro for the show for each show. Just like
It really should. Just do it once. Do it once from each movie, and just do recycled.
Exactly.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
That's a great idea. I'll have to take that up. Runner Studio says, hail to you, Runner Studios.
Hey,
He was a
Runner.
guest last week and also made an appearance a couple weeks ago. So, yeah, he's turning into a semi-regular-ish.
Cool.
Joe47 says, good morning. Good. Damn it. Why?
Try to
Got
get
the name improper.
Damn it.
Well, it's technically morning for some of us.
That's
Right. That is true. Good evening, everybody. It's Joe 47. All right. Oh, we got a super chat from Stone Cold Jeremy. He says, hello, Justin. Hello, panel. And hello, chat. Hope everyone is doing well in these turbulent times. Well, I hope you are doing well as well, Stone Cold Jeremy. Thank you for the well wishes. I greatly appreciate that. Cameron Pasha 72. I don't think I've seen you around before. Welcome to the channel. He says, yep. Salam from Hollywood. What is that? Salem?
Yes.
Okay, I got it right the first time. Okay.
Yes, he's a Hollywood insider. He's actually worked in Hollywood for quite some time.
Oh.
Salam.
Jeremy interviewed him.
That guy.
Yes, that's correct. I saw that. I love that. That was, yeah. I lived in LA for 2.5 years. Probably don't have nearly as much knowledge as you did, but honestly, I couldn't even imagine. I've seen some weird stuff, but not to the same level. So that was a very informative conversation. So welcome to the channel. Thanks for stopping by, man. We got Chef Carolyn, who says, holy shit, I finally made it to a live stream. Hail, everyone. Hail,
That's
Chef
cool.
Carolyn, for finally making it to a live stream. And of course, Generation Production says, I hate horse shit. I do too. I hate it too. Crazy Eye Jedi is also here, is saying hi to Tommy, but not to anybody else. Thank you. That's okay though. Well, at any rate, let's get on with the show. So, amidst all of these, all the craziness, all the protests, and there have been great things that have come out of it. I support peaceful protests 100%. There's also lunacy going around, and one thing that I'll say to anybody who is protesting: first off, you're a very brave soul if you're doing it for the right reasons. If you're just doing it to take advantage of it, fuck you. You're terrible. Don't go away. But for the peaceful protesters, I just will say, don't be stupid, and don't be like this guy who decided to try to blow up an ATM machine in Philly and died, because what else would you expect? And apparently that set a trend. A day later, about 50 ATMs have blown up around Philly during violent unrest. And I just want to ask LaReina, why is this happening? By the way, LaReina is currently residing in Philadelphia or around that area. So that's why
I actually live in the Philadelphia suburbs, amongst the Karens. So we're thankfully not anywhere near to Philadelphia, but have been enough to realize, you know what, you've got a mayor that can't control his city, and people who think that it's a smart idea to try to blow up an ATM. And like I tell people, if you could blow up ATMs and get money, everybody would have done it by now.
True point. So before we get,
if you blow them up and everybody gets dead, I think that probably that should be the end of blowing up ATMs. Maybe.
Thank you, Wes, for you didn't have to give us a late fee.
I'm reminded
I was late, and I returned it late, and I didn't rewind it. I mean, my God.
Casually late. I know. Hail this week in bullshit. So Twibs. Oh my God.
Why does Twibs sound like a brand of tea?
Because you're in the UK?
It's like a shorthand for Twinings brand tea, which I love.
Yeah.
By the way. Yes.
I don't even want to explore that, but I mean, I'll think about it though. I'll think about what to do with that. So aside from the ATM machines, we also have this idiot. This is a Karen, obviously. When you ask her about her day, she's smashing a window and is very unsuccessful. But notice something in the background. Pay attention to this guy right there. He just casually walks in. He just casually walks in as this Karen continues to try to break the glass, but does not work. And the guy just walks out like, all right,
He looks at her.
just like,
Lady, you are stupid.
Did she give up at the end? Did she just
she
like,
eventually just gave up. She was just
gassed
like,
out?
does she have yellow hair? What the
Yes.
This is why we're taught as children to use the door, not the window.
She throws the skateboard down.
Oh, I didn't see that part.
That is a great advertisement for whatever window company that is. I just have to say that. That's take that as a commercial and sell your business, man.
She should have found the pallet of bricks. What's wrong with her?
Yeah, the random staged pallets of bricks. Yeah, totally.
Oh, yeah, that have been lying around. Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Fire
Just a short
window
walk away,
glass.
probably.
It's riot proof.
And this before we get into the first topic, this is my absolute favorite, and this is by far the most toxic of all of the looters. He's displaying his white privilege by casually going in and taking. It doesn't get any better than that.
Oh my god!
When I first saw this, I couldn't believe it.
Does he have a PayPal? I feel like I should kick in, chip in a little bit.
He just said, "Got my chips. Get you people."
Somebody needs to start a GoFundMe page for that guy.
Yeah, get him some sunglasses and some bling.
Yep.
There you go. Oh my God.
This is evolution at work, people.
Yeah.
It is. It really is.
I do.
And
I bet you never. I was gonna say, I bet you never look at birds the same way again. That's a Jurassic Park reference for you.
Oh yeah, definitely never again. But so for this next clip, so for our first story, this came as a little bit of a surprise to me, just because it was just so absurd. Because I mean, just people took this seriously, and I will show you just in case people haven't seen it before. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. So. The video in question is BLM YouTuber forced white girls on their knees to apologize for white privilege, and hopefully you can hear it. This is the clip that went viral.
Excuse me. Hey, excuse me. I work for Black Lives Matter. I'm sorry. I work for Black Lives Matter. I'm sorry that I scared you. But since I work for that company, my CEO has told me to come out today and to bring you on your knees. Because you have white privilege.
Wait, the CEO. Let's just a company. Black Lives Matter is a company. Like this is a big red flag.
Seems legit.
Seems legit. Anyway.
Yeah, it seems legit.
So if they see that a white person is getting on their knees, that shows solidarity for the situation.
Oh man.
The situation. And could you just please apologize for your white privilege?
Oh God.
Just apologize.
I am. I'm trying to think of the right words to say because that's a big thing to say.
It's big.
So
it's large in this country.
Oh my gosh.
With this country, we have that president Donald Duck, that clown in office.
That is another.
He's brought a lot of bigotry, and you're not a part of it, right?
No.
No. And so,
she takes it so seriously too. But here's the kicker to that, though. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I watched this video when it sort of came out. It's like when I first saw that, I honestly got caught by it because I thought the guy was calling Donald Trump Donald Duck as a deliberate insult. So I actually thought it was serious.
Well, I'm just gonna make it very clear right now and to everybody that this was indeed a complete troll job. This was a 2-hour live stream by this guy. This guy runs. This is the 2-hour stream by Smooth Sanchez. I'm giving him free publicity here, I guess.
Hey,
but
he's not black.
I'm not gonna.
Like I told people, my family is Afro-Latino, and he looks like one of my cousins. So,
Okay.
I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna let you say it, LaReina. I'm not the one to judge.
I'll say it. You can't necessarily say he's not black, but let him tell you for himself.
Well, technically you can, because did he vote for Joe Biden?
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
Well, that's one determining factor.
Yeah.
But and hopefully you can hear this. I really hope you guys can, because this is just. I mean, if you even look at the comments section, like, it's just absolute. Like, you can totally tell that they're in on the show.
Wait, you commented on that? What does it say?
I did. Oh, that was a reminder for myself.
Oh, okay.
To go to this moment. But I will say that when I saw this, I was bursting out laughing because Twitter was taking this very seriously for one reason or another.
I have to say, I saw the shortened, edited version of this video on Twitter. I did not see the setup. I did not know it was a troll job. I honestly, the where the video started when I saw it was when he first walked up to her and like pointed at her and talked about Black Lives Matter. I believed it. I thought it was real. I swear to God, I watched it for the first time and I was like, no friggin' way. And you just revealed to me just now on this live stream that it was a troll job. I had no idea until now.
Well, go ahead.
I thought it was possible, but nothing surprises me anymore with some of these white liberals. I'm telling you, man.
Well, take a listen to this. This is how far the troll job kind of went. Like, this is how ridiculous it got. So we're gonna show what happened with this woman, if you can hear it. So he goes up to this woman like everyone else.
I work on behalf of Black Lives Matter organization. I work on behalf of the Black Lives Matter organization. I have come all the way from Minneapolis to California just to come here in New York City to film the protest and see what is going on. And I can assure you this much, that could you just please kneel in solidarity? The chat, everybody we want to end racism. And I think this kneel will be one step closer.
So yeah, he does the same kind of spiel as he's done before. So
just kneel like Colin Kaepernick did, and just please apologize for what happened and show your sincerity.
So she goes with it.
Now,
and then pay attention to this part.
Yes, say that you are sorry for what happened, for what has happened to the death of Floyd Mayweather.
I think we're all sorry for what has happened to him.
Say I'm sorry for what happened to Floyd Mayweather. I mean George Floyd. Okay, all right.
I'm sorry for what has happened to Floyd Mayweather.
Yes. Thank you so much.
That's just to give you an.
I'm sorry.
She doesn't even know the guy's name.
No, doesn't ask any questions. Just like, oh, I don't want to be perceived as one of those bad people, so let me just go along with whatever BS is coming out of this dude's mouth. Are you freaking serious?
Yeah.
Oh my God! I don't want people to think I'm a Trump supporter.
Oh my God! The fact that he said Mayweather,
Floyd Mayweather. I'm sorry for what happened to Floyd Mayweather.
I'm just like, you. No, you deserve the stupidity that
you doesn't even remember that big fight that happened a few years ago between Conor McGregor. That's what we're talking about. That's the kind of insanity that we're dealing with. And again, people taking advantage of the situation. But I want to get your guys' thoughts on what does this do exactly? Just out of curiosity, what do you think? What do you think of people who do stuff like this? Honestly, and we'll start with Salty. Is it a positive? Is it a negative? Is it like humorous?
Of the guy that's doing the trolling or the people he's trolling?
Both.
Both. Okay, so the guy who's doing the trolling, I mean, I'm personally not a fan of that sort of activity, online or otherwise. I find it sometimes funny, like it is right now. However, I would not partake myself. It's not really my thing. As for the people who fall for it, I guess the only thing I could say is, like, educate yourself. I know that sounds like a meme to just say that, but really, like, when somebody walks up to you and says, can you get on your knees for what happened to Floyd Mayweather? Can you just at least, like, that should not compute with you. You should be like, hold on a second. That's a billionaire boxer. This is this is not the same story that I've been hearing on the news. And the other thing is, like, I think we can all agree in some, like, human decency across the board. Just you shouldn't have to bow before anybody, especially if you're not directly involved in any kind of wrongdoing. It doesn't compute with me. So I feel like the people who would fall for this should educate themselves, and the people who do it, I mean, who am I to say anything negative? Good old fashioned troll job, but it's just definitely not my thing. Yeah.
All I know is that once I found this out, it was I think was it this morning or yesterday morning, Spartan? Because you were awake at the time. Like, might have been yesterday, but I remember, like, in our group chat, I was laughing my ass off. Like, I was just like, this is like the most my mind was blown. Like others who are hearing this for the first time, I was just like, what the, like, this was just all a joke by, like, somebody who's like, how old does this guy look? Like, what, 12? Like, this is ridiculous. I can't even. Yeah, but Wes, your thoughts on the people who fell for it?
God,
did it.
They remind me a lot of, like, my parents and my mom and her friends and stuff. So I think it's yeah, use some common sense, people. I mean, come on. I mean, it's hilarious, though. It's hilarious. I actually found it to be very funny.
LaReina?
It's freaking funny. It's funny because you have these people who refuse to question, so they just go along with it. And it's just like, if you're just going to go along with that crap, just no. I'm not a fan of getting this stuff done to other people, but I will laugh at people's stupidity with just falling for freaking anything. And it's really sad. It's sad that you see so many people who are willing to not question and not think logically and just go along with it for whatever reason. I think, like what I was telling you guys earlier, there's this one guy. He's not libertarian. He's not conservative. Hotep Jesus, and he's actually on Twitter, a black guy. And he actually went to a Starbucks in Philadelphia and basically said, I want my reparations, so you should give me some free coffee. And sure enough, he got free coffee.
And he made it on Fox News. And he got interviewed by Joe Rogan. So you should actually check that out on on YouTube. But yeah, it's after the show.
After the show. Stay with us. Stay with us. But after the show. But yeah, it's just ridiculous, the amount of crap that people will go along with.
Spartan Jeremy,
you're single. Anyway.
What do you think of Americans falling for this?
Anybody who follows me on Twitter knows that I've commented on this already. I feel bad for these people. The trolling is funny, but these people take it seriously because they've been conditioned to take it seriously by pop culture and the entertainment they consume.
That's a very mature response. That's a very mature response.
Yeah. What is that doing on this stream?
Yeah, exactly.
We have our moments here.
And since when are we mature? It's well, Anyway, there's there's no possible way I can. This is where the fun begins.
Oh, I hate that line. No!
Should we do it?
No!
I hate
We
sand.
do
It gets everywhere.
It's time. It's time.
Oh, we got to do it.
We're talking real shit. If you're grossed out, just okay. This is your warning. This is your warning once again.
Oh man, I'm eating.
That is your warning.
I picked the wrong time to start eating my burger.
I hate manure.
Well, here we go. I'm sorry, everyone, but this happened on Tuesday. This TikTok influencer, they decided to cover themselves up with feces to support Blackout Tuesday, which, by the way, if anybody knows what Blackout Tuesday is, this doesn't make any sense at all. It makes no sense because if anybody did at least a little bit of research, they would understand that Blackout Tuesday is a day of action across the music industry, which sprang from an initiative created by Atlantic Records senior director of by these people. They called it called hashtag The Show Must Be Paused, an observance of the long-standing racism and inequality from that exists from the boardroom to the boulevard. The music industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry, an industry that has profited predominantly from black art, which is actually kind of true. You're talking about the blues, the jazz. History is very
Yep, rock and roll started with
Very.
jazz down south.
Did.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Barry. I jumped the gun there, but yeah, you're completely right. So, in solidarity, I don't know what this has to do with the music industry, but there is a little bit of this was not a trend. This is another false rumor that people kind of got confused about. They thought that all these TikTokers are just covering themselves up with shit.
Oh no, that's just this one time, right?
Yeah, it's just the one lady. One lady. Yeah. This new TikTok influencer loves covering herself in her own poop and which
What?
I will not show it, but I will.
Okay.
I'm not going to show it, but I'm going to share the audio, and I'm going to be very careful as to not show anything because, I mean, yeah, this is what the person has to say. God, oh no. I'm surprised that people are still watching, but geez, just bear with me here.
Like a train wreck. We got to see it all the way through, man.
We have to. We have to see this through. We already got this far.
Done with my burger. I'm good.
You might see it again.
Yeah.
All right, let's play this.
Hi everyone, I am Dung and welcome to my channel here at TikTok. And look at me covered in feces. I am just so gorgeously covered, caked in feces.
Caked.
Look at that. Isn't that something? Isn't that beautiful? And I do
No.
this to glorify God, to
What?
put my ego into remission.
God,
Look at
don't
that.
need that
Isn't that
mess.
something? Wow. You think? Do you think at all?
No. Do you think at
No,
all?
you're not thinking, are you?
That's blasphemy. Get out of here.
She's crazy. She's a crazy person, right?
She's
It has to be a
she's
crazy
mental.
person.
Yeah, and there's this. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This is just a crazy person.
It's an appropriate name for her. Dung.
She
So there's that, and then there is a TikTok where she's that's a turd. And no, why?
Oh man,
My emoji, no, I did not.
you did that on purpose, Justin.
No, I do not support that. I do not support that. No,
You secretly want her to be the mascot for this weekend
no,
bullshit.
absolutely not.
No, hey, that's bullshit, Terry.
No, Biff, it was horseshit. The whole car was full. They had to pay old man Jones $80 to haul it away.
God, no, just no.
Manure! I hate manure!
I hate manure.
Yeah, there we go. See, I took your advice, Salty.
Yeah, good job, dude. Good job.
All right.
Well done.
And again, there's, as I said, much easier ways to cover yourself in shit. What can I say? What can I say?
You
Oh,
might
God.
not be able to say anything, but I can say several things. Firstly, if she's bringing up God, can I quote mean Jesus Obi-Wan Kenobi?
What?
How did this happen? We're smarter than this.
She sounded like she was American. So I don't know. You're exempt from this. So
She could be Canadian.
She could be.
I hope so. I really hope so.
Every village has their idiot, and it's been like that since the dawn of time.
Yeah. Well, Will said, I guess that was from previously, troll job or not, that woman was humiliating herself the one before. Okay. All right. You know what? Before I get into the comments, and I will read them after this, guys, talk about shit talking, but like, come on. Like, what do you have to say? Anything?
This is bullshit.
Right. I don't think there's much. I mean, if you want to weigh in on it, go ahead.
There's not much to say. This chick is mental in the very British slang sense of the word.
I feel like we're seeing the beginnings of something, and this could escalate into, you know, I don't know, go into like sewage plants or possibly, I don't know, cow pastures.
Yeah, runner. What? That's what the fuck.
I've seen farmers covered in less shit.
I'm sorry, John Beck. Good, it's over.
I have to say, I've never seen that in Florida. People covering themselves with it. They might have stepped in BS. They might have, you know, got some on their boots or something like that, but not purposely smearing it over your face like a beauty treatment.
I need to pose a question. I don't know if this is obvious or not, but was this video that she made in support of the movement of Black Lives Matter?
She had the hashtag Blackout
Tuesday. So
on that first one.
When she wants to show support for the black community, the first thing she thinks of is covering herself in shit.
That's the imposing question.
Is that not problematic?
It's not only problematic, it's like, I mean, like,
is she doing some kind of pseudo blackface?
That's what I was gonna say.
You stole my thunder, dude. You stole my thunder. I was gonna say she did a crap job of blackface. If that's what
literally. That is awful on so many levels.
It's like, is she for real?
You can't blame white people on this one.
No. No.
If anyone ever had any doubts that we're living in clown world,
this is it.
That is it. Let me see. Oh, fuck you, John Beck. Justin Cooper. Damn it. Oh, shit. These are some really messed up people in the world.
Oh, yeah.
Entertainment stars. Thank you, Rob, for the poop emoji. Matt Vader, you came in at a great time. Great time. There was something that I think I missed it. Oh, yeah. Trey Courtney says, if she's American, we disavow and disown her.
Completely. Completely. She's out of the draft.
Bring that message up again.
Yep.
That is the Klingon ritual of
disavow.
Forget
the name.
Oh yeah, where you do
they do that. They turn her back. Yeah.
Who does number 2 work? See, Salty, this is a nice break from your intellectual podcast. You could just
This is what happens when we bring you over.
I love that you guys think I have an intellectual podcast.
I listen to your podcast. I'm just
I know you do. I know.
I'm listening to you, Matthew Kadish, and Matt. I'm like, what's going on? I can't even I'm just lost sometimes.
The quality content is for our patrons. We have I think there was one time where Matt Vader went on like a 20-minute rant about Pornhub.com. That's where you get the good stuff, is on our Patreon content.
And by you saying that, now we are demonetized.
I'm gonna get an email. I'm gonna get an email from Patreon saying you can't be doing that stuff, man.
Crazy Eye Jedi says, "Hey, stop using crazy. It's offensive to us." Crazy Eye Jedi. It's like say that she's insane. Okay.
Yikes,
I'm having too much of a good time here. Intellectual podcast. I'm saying, like, it compares it like to this. You know, like, this is a lot. That's a lot smarter of a conversation you guys are having.
All right.
On a weekly basis. That, like, but this is the first like half hour or so.
Yeah.
So
now the theory of relativity, relatively, yes.
Yes. And it's all. It's all. I mean, well, first off, like, let's just. God, I don't even know how to. Like, this is what I struggle with transitioning from literal shit to what we're going to be talking about next, which is, I think, shit canning. For people who don't know what happened to Robert Meyer Burnett. So now we're this is how our transitions go, from someone covered in shit to actually like real bullshit, real conversation now. Okay. But before we do that, does anybody have anything else to say about the shit lady?
Nope.
It kind of speaks for itself.
Yeah. And I watched all 3 of those videos, and I wish I hadn't. And yes, she did eat the poop.
What's the definition of insanity?
Doing something over and over again and expecting a different result.
That guy.
Oh, I thought you were going to ask what was the clinical term for eating your own poo. Because there is one.
Yeah,
insanity.
He watched 3 videos and expected them to not be awful.
No, I needed to do my research. That's all I needed to do. But anyways, so for those of you who have been following this story, so the next story I'm talking about is the Schmodown Takedown, which is, run by Christian Harloff, and it's like this. I don't know if it's Collider or if it's Collider adjacent, but essentially, Robert Meyer Burnett was a part of the whole team, and then he posted this tweet that I'm going to show you. This is actually the first. I think this is the first screen share that actually isn't gross or hilarious. It's just, this is the tweet that he posted in outrage of this. I'm not going to show the actual video or anything. I'm just going to show this initial tweet that's just absolutely terrible. There was a 77-year-old man. His name is Captain David Dorn. I'm going to see if I can bring up a picture of him later on. He was shot by looters because he was defending a pawn shop, and this really, really angered Robert Meyer Burnett. He says, "You want outrage? Watch this, motherfuckers. Honestly, fuck the looters. Here's the moment every gun owner really wants. You want to stop the unrest? Everyone use the deadly force. Should kill every private citizen, every business." Yeah, not the best words, but coming from the heart.
Those are perfect words.
Huh?
I said those are perfect words.
Yeah,
I think
it's appropriate to the situation.
Oh,
I just can't say it out loud.
Yeah.
But it speaks for itself. That's one of those things where if someone is killing somebody else, then I honestly, like, I'm not going to get too much into that, but you have every right to
Self-defense laws exist so that you can defend yourself.
Exactly.
And I'm sure that there is, in many states, there are good Samaritan laws where they understand the context of it, or they will choose not to charge you. So that is something that I totally agree with. And yeah, if you decide to do this, and this is where I get a little bit serious, because I've seen people who have defended looters, who have defended this sort of violent protest. They aren't even protests anymore. They are people who are taking advantage of a situation. And this person who shot this man was taking advantage of a sensitive situation at a time where people weren't being held accountable for their actions. And I do not support it 100%. It does go into, there are people who are just so angry and do care about what's going on. They do care about the injustices going on, but they don't know where to place their anger. They don't know how to do it productively, like the peaceful protests. And there are other people who just straight up take advantage of it. And this person, without a doubt, was taking advantage of a situation because he had a gun on him, and he had intended, if somebody were to fuck with him or to stop him from looting whatever store he was looting, he was going to do what he had to do. And that's what happened. And that's a very terrible situation. And as a result, as you see, I don't have that tweet pulled up, but apparently Schmo, I think he deleted his tweet actually. Oh no. Basically Schmodown fired him, and I'm actually going to just take a second to get that tweet up. But in the meantime, honestly, like, what are your guys' initial thoughts on the tweet itself while I'm bringing this up?
I'll just say this. While his tweet may have not been very flowery language, these are not very flowery times. The man who was shot was 77 years old. He had, I think, 5 kids, 10 grandkids, was a cop for 35 years. Not only was he a cop, he was a black cop, okay? This man's life was taken because some looter wanted a cheap television set at the price of this man's life. And anybody who wants to basically give Robert Burnett a bunch of crap for that needs to listen to the video of this man dying and the guy trying to save him, pleading with him to stay with him, and telling this looter, you did this over a TV, for a TV. And you hear that. It's like, go back and listen to that. And then go back and look at Robert Burnett's tweets. Okay. That was justified as far as I'm concerned. It may not have been the best language, but you know what? Was it the best language that this guy decided to go and kill a 77-year-old man for a TV set? That's exactly how I feel about it. And the fact that he got canned for that pretty much tells me that his company, and I forget who he works for, basically values Collider.
Well, it was Collider. I think Harloff and Campia are kind of doing something now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that basically tells me that they basically value some kind of virtue signaling over the truth about how this black man's life was taken. That's how I see it.
Which we knew already.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Unfortunately.
Totally agree with LaReina. I mean, I saw the video and I was like, how can you not be outraged by seeing that? I thought the tweet that Robert Meyer Burnett tweeted was absolutely appropriate. Was it it was not sugar-coated, nor should it have been. And Christian Harloff in the past, I saw a live stream with him and Campia where I think Campia asked Harloff I think this is when they made the announcement that they're getting back together. And Campia's like, yeah, you're going to come on with RMB. No, I'm not going to go on with that blowhard.
Who said that?
Harloff said that about RMB.
When did he say that?
I believe it was on the stream they did together where they were announcing after Harloff left Collider that Campia and Harloff were going to be doing some things together.
Just remember that Christian Harloff is the same person who had to bust his ass for 5 years being a Star Wars fan.
That's
be a
very
shill,
true.
yep.
Was he the one who got butt hurt because he didn't get to go to Galaxy's Edge?
Yep, that's the guy.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I had to get that out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no!
Go
ahead.
I was just going to say that speaks volumes to the type of morality these people have.
And this was his statement. The Schmodown does not agree with the statements made earlier by Robert Meyer Burnett. We will be replacing him as a MTS manager. We'll let you know who will step into his role soon. The world, even the virtual one, is especially hard right now. Let's be kind to one another. Yes, let's be kind.
The guy.
Yeah, let's be kind to somebody as you fire his ass.
Yeah.
And by the way, like being probably one of the nicest guys in this entire YouTube entertainment world, who goes and talks to literally everybody. Echo-based network, like a smaller channel, he'll go and talk with them. He'll talk with Tom in Midnight's Edge After Dark. He'll talk with John Campea. A lot of people, like, he's talking to both sides. He's got two ears on two different sides of the spectrum. He's literally the guy who will talk to anybody and everybody and wants to be friends with everyone.
Yeah.
Perhaps that could be, that's the downside to being that kind of person, is you want to get along with everybody, but at the end of the day, all of your friends, they have their certain conditions, I guess. Like, if you're friends with this person, you can't be friends with me, and vice versa. And that's also a problem. But there's certain people who will just get rid of you as soon as you step out of line, as soon as you step out of a narrative. Is what, and you know what? Again, this couldn't have happened to a nicer human being. Salty, to my understanding, have you had him on a podcast before? Have you interacted with him?
No, actually, this is my first time reading those tweets. I had no idea about the situation.
No, with him. No, not the situation, but I meant with him.
With Robert Burnett?
Yeah.
No, I've never had him on my podcast. That would be cool. I mean, if he's listening, hey, man, come on over and talk to us. But no, I haven't. Actually, like, I stopped watching People on Collider a couple of years back when things kind of went south in this country. 2016 was a weird year, and I just like cut off all the entertainment industry people that I used to listen to on the daily. I was like, okay, no more. I'm done. And I haven't really looked back. I'm not a big fan of John Campea. Christian Harloff I thought was pretty chill until I saw this is kind of ridiculous. But I have I have a bigger respect for Robert now. I don't follow him on Twitter, but I will after this. That was,
Yep.
I think.
Thank you, Tommy. Thank you.
I think he was justified.
I still can't believe that Christian Harloff, I mean, before this happened, called Robert Meyer Burnett a blowhard. Christian Harloff calling somebody else a blowhard? It's like, kettle black there is what's going on. Calling the kettle.
Well,
that is very true, Trey Courtney. At least Campea didn't throw Robert under the bus. that's a win for Campea. Didn't throw him under the bus. There you go.
Robert is a very moderate.
That's 1 point. That's just one, okay?
Campea did make a tweet that was kind of like riding the fence, that was not defending him very well.
Yeah, he's. You know what? If he doesn't fire him from the show, fine. That's where I stood on that.
If he's not benefiting from it, he's not going to take a hard stance on it.
Yeah, like it's just. Yeah, I mean, he kind of needs Robert in a way to like sort of balance things out sometimes. Well, it doesn't need him, but just like I like it when the two of them are together because I like Robert, and Campea isn't always unreasonable. Sorry, but he's not always unreasonable.
Even a broken clock is right once in a while.
Yeah, I know. Twice a day.
Twice a day.
Every once in a while, you screwed up the.
I did screw up the meme. God damn it!
You know what I wish? You know what I wish? I wish I had the clip of Biff saying like, "It's leave, you idiot! Make like a tree and leave." You sound like a damn fool when you say it wrong. I wish I had that clip. I was so close to putting that in, and I didn't.
That would have been perfect, man. That would have been perfect.
Damn it! No.
Next time.
Next time, indeed. But yeah, so, and you know what, just a testament to how nice of a guy Robert is. He says, folks, I love the Schmodown. Please do not let my anger or speaking out of turn get in the way of something that is truly tremendous. Christian Harloff and Mark Ellis Live have created something everyone can love. Never forget, Warfather and Hannah will dominate. Okay. Yeah, it's just very nice. Like again, the nicest guy who gets along with everybody. That
was nice of him, but fuck those guys.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's kind of ridiculous. But yeah, I mean, Spartan, did you have anything to say about that? Oh, yeah. Runner Studios, yes. Sorry, Spartan. Yes, he did make an apology video, and it was he seemed very sincere. He was just like, I'm really sorry about that. I didn't mean to do that. That's just, again, a testament of how nice of a guy he is. But Matt Bader says, Salty, you're wearing that comm badge on the wrong side. Come on, man.
I had to because the microphone would have covered up if I was on this side. That's why. Sorry, nerd. God. See, it wouldn't do any good over here because then nobody could see it.
No one can really, like, let's just be honest. Nobody could really see it either way.
Hold on. Here. It's not far over. It has to be
move it
lower.
lower, yeah.
Yeah.
We might not see it, but we can feel it.
That's a nice shirt. Salty Justice Warrior.
I got called an SJW once. By somebody who was like on our team. And I was like, bro, that's some funny stuff. So I owned it and I made a t-shirt out of it. Salty Justice Warrior. With the help of Matthew Kadish, she helped me come up with the idea.
Cool.
Yeah, I think Matthew Kadish was the one who I think I was on a stream with Robert one time for whatever reason. I don't know why he invited me on. I do not deserve to be in a with Matthew Kadish and Robert Burnett. I'm just like, okay, you guys can talk. I'll just listen. Like, I mean, but honestly though, like, any other thoughts of just like how like do you think this was justified? Do you think? I mean, I think most people on the panel don't agree that this was a justifiable situation, but moving forward, though, just what does this speak about the Schmodown? What does this say about them, and what does that say about Robert, in your opinion? And whoever wants to chime in can go and do it.
Confirms everything, you know, that RMB's a stand-up guy and a straight shooter, and it confirms that the other two guys are, you know, shills. And wherever the wind blows and virtue signalers.
That's a good point, RR. Nice guys unfortunately get stepped on. He shouldn't have apologized.
I agree. He should not have apologized. He, if anything, apologized for the tone, but not what he said.
I think Coop. Was this recently or was this before all this happened? I'm just curious.
His apology seemed like an apology of tone and not for the sentiment when I watched it.
Okay, I haven't seen his apology.
Will Gentry says that's about as funny as screen door on a battleship.
Okay,
Salty,
I haven't
that
heard
would have
that
been
in a
better.
long time. Screen door on a battleship. That's a good one.
Salty is not in the room right now. He's somewhere else. But yeah, I'm gonna show that to him as soon as he gets back. But yeah, I know that. Go ahead.
Here's the thing about Robert Meyer Burnett. He is the quintessential human being. He has lived with Star Trek as his guiding life for almost his entire life. He wants to see and believe that the best is in everybody. When senseless violence occurs, people like Robert Meyer Burnett react even more strongly than most people would be, or more strongly than most people would. But at the same time, his message is technically a warning, because it might. Do I want to say this because it might be a bit political?
No, go ahead.
A lot of the people supporting the rioters want a lack of guns in America. And obviously, this violence that's being perpetrated will only encourage people to want more and more guns. So in a way, his tweet, though the meaning can technically be missed in it, is almost a warning that these people are creating the outcome they're trying to fight against.
You're absolutely correct. I got nothing. Wes?
Beyond what I already thought, no, I think that pretty much sums it up.
I agree. I wish I had the the sad Affleck clip. Just said like I agree. No, sad Affleck. Yeah.
Hello,
Have you not seen that
darkness,
before?
my old friend. And he's like just looking down.
I
Henry Cavill's right next to him. You know.
Again.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But there are a couple people making fun of Salty in the
Really?
chat.
Oh, goody. Yay!
Screen door on a submarine. Let me see. I think never apologize. Sorry, that's not what it was. It was a little further back. Let's see where it was. There were a few of them.
Of course, that makes sense. I don't have the chat open, so I can't see.
Yeah. A lot of it is like make like a tree and get out of here. Let's see. There was a couple others. I can't. I'm trying to find them. A lot of it is just like shitting on Harloff, which I totally understand. But somebody said like screen door on a submarine, and I had it up, but then you were gone, and
that was directed at me. I don't understand. Did I miss something?
Yeah. No. He said screen door on a battleship. The guy said.
Okay. I got you.
Yeah.
Just another messed up. Has anybody a Boondock Saints fan in this chat where they were like, "We got to get you a book of Proverbs or something. This mix and match shit ain't gonna work."
I think I've seen that a long time ago. The Boondocks is great.
It's a fantastic movie. If you haven't seen it, I highly suggest go watch it.
The movie, yeah.
Yeah, the movie, Boondock Saints.
The anime series is freaking hilarious. I love it.
Oh yeah.
No, there's a movie. It's called The Boondock Saints, and there's a guy in there who's got Tourette's, and he like stutters out a bunch of these proverbs, and they're always messed up.
Right. All right, and we only have like a couple more things to talk about, but thank you everybody who's tuned in so far. Somebody said that thanks memes had a Heritage Thank too. That's very nice. I never saw the Boondock Saints. Well, you should rectify that.
That was a good one. Symbology.
Symbology. Yes.
What's the symbolism? Yeah, that's a great scene. Tommy gets it. He knows what he's talking about.
He does, and he's one of the best mods on YouTube. He gets around.
He is. He's everywhere.
The best mod.
RR says he's a decent man living in indecent times. Civility is hanging on a razor's edge. We are rapidly devolving, and for all capacities for decency, it pales compared to our capacity for vulgarity.
It's like poetry.
A mouthful.
Yep.
Doesn't even have to rhyme.
The truth hurts.
I know. It does. And so does this. A judge has given control. A judge has given control of Joe Exotic's zoo to Carol Baskin. I wish we had Christie to talk about this. We're gonna go over it real quick, but that's all we need to know. Apparently, a judge did do this. A judge decided this for whatever reason, and I read through this, and I still can't understand why.
Well, in a nutshell, for those of you who've seen the whole thing on Netflix, well, you know that was that one episode where Joe Exotic, he lost to Carol Baskin, so he was trying to hide his money, selling stuff off, putting stuff in his mama's name, okay, to avoid having to pay Carol. Well, that has finally caught up to him. So, because he did that, that was basically fraud, and Carol has friends in high places, so basically she was given his due. That's it in a nutshell.
Yep.
Still don't know where her husband is, but you know.
Killed
Way
him,
gone.
husband, whacked him.
Yeah.
Can't convince me.
He's
Yeah.
manure. That's what he is.
He's in a tiger poop somewhere.
God, do I have to do it again?
Yeah.
All right, fine.
Rest in peace, Carol Baskin's husband.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rest in peace. Carol fucking Baskin.
That's a bigger pile of shit than in Jurassic Park.
Damn it! No, I was gonna do that too. I didn't.
Jeff Goldblum.
That was one big pile of shit.
Yeah.
One big pile of shit.
Happy Jurassic June, everybody.
For people who don't know, Salty Nerd, his favorite movie of all time. He hates the Goonies. He hates the Goonies with a burning passion.
It's true.
That is one of the few streams that is still public. You will love it. Salty lost that, but no, you had good points, and I read you on that. That was a great stream. But despite that, he loves nothing more that he loves than dinosaurs.
I am a dinosaur shill.
Why
What's
is
wrong
that,
with
though?
the Goonies?
You guys, if you want to find out why, there's a whole nother conversation. You can watch his live stream if you want to know why I don't like that freaking dumbass movie. But
all right, I'll watch it.
Yeah, Tommy, go to the channel and
if you want to,
Goonies, you'll find it.
Yeah, if you want to know why I shill for dinosaur movies, my latest YouTube video, we talk about the first movie and all about why I love it so much. So you can go to my YouTube channel and check out that video.
You just uploaded that today, right?
I did. Yep, it's uploaded today.
I like the first one. The others, I was rooting for the dinosaurs.
You know what? It's so weird. All of my favorite series of movies I've watched in the wrong order, the complete wrong order. Jaws, I watched the second half of the second movie where the guy gets like chewed up like Eddie, like, and he rips the boat in half and there's a bunch of blood in the water. I'm like, well, that's Jaws. Okay, this is interesting. And then like Back to the Future, I saw like when Marty got to the parking lot. Okay. And then I saw part 3 because I guess in that airing, they didn't show part 2 for whatever reason. So I'd watch part 2 after watching part 3, which made no sense at all. I know somebody's laughing at me. And
no, it's probably because of the risque image in number 2. That's why they edited it out.
God, that was so great that guys, because of Salty, it got up to Bob Gale.
Wow.
I'm the eagle-eyed fan.
Cool.
Awesome.
Possibly.
Cool.
I think the one thing that you could have done is provide the Netflix edit, and that would have.
Yeah, I was on my phone, and Netflix won't let you record visual like audio on their app.
Oh,
it just blacks it out. So I had to go to YouTube, and I pulled up the original, and I was like, "The hell, man!" But that's old news.
Yeah, it's all old news. It's in the past.
It's been fixed, and it wasn't Netflix's fault.
What?
Oh, I said, you mean the future? I had to make that joke.
Oh no.
Yeah.
The Canadian Netflix is not fixed though. So
the Canadian one.
Yeah, I know. Michael J. Fox is just gonna have to deal with his free VHS and DVD copies and Blu-rays. Too bad.
Oh, that's bad.
Oh well.
I still can't unsee the Canadian boot that he does, or what was that? It was a boot, right? Sorry, that's what it was. Sorry. Yes.
They're talking about when they're in the high school, and it's like how did your parents meet? It's like, oh yeah, like I guess she felt sorry for him when he hit her with the car, hit me with the car, and then he says sorry, and he does say sorry, and it sticks out like a sore thumb as soon as you hear it.
He does, and I went over my head until you pointed it out to me, Justin, and now I can't unhear it.
And I hate to, well, yeah, it is what it is. But that, if we talk about it more, it'd be beating a dead horse. But speaking of which, the last thing that we're going to talk about, and then we're going to wrap it up, something that everyone is going to love. Everyone's going to absolutely love to talk about. We're going to talk about it in just a second. But I want to take some time to read the chat because I haven't been the best in that, so I'm going to try to give you guys some love. So Trey Courtney says The Lost World is dope.
Indeed.
For Jeff Goldblum.
we did our full not commentary, but full podcast all about it. It's on my YouTube channel. Jurassic June, we're celebrating all the Jurassic Park movies, so
Soul Assassin said The Lost World was good. Okay, all right. I actually like Jurassic World a lot.
Oh, Jurassic World is fantastic. I love it.
Okay, so
But I'm a
I'll be
shill,
honest.
so it doesn't really matter.
Well, I'll be honest with Jurassic Park. Speaking of series that you've seen in the opposite order, well, first off, Indiana Jones. I saw the first thing I ever saw about Indiana Jones was on television, and I just turned it on, and Indiana Jones was just like, "Prepare to meet Kali in hell." I'm like, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. Just turn on the television, like, this is awesome. But it was until years later that I actually watched it in proper order. But Jurassic Park, I watched Jurassic Park 3 first. And then saw the first one. Never saw the second one.
You still haven't seen the second one?
Not fully. No, I've watched it on TV, so I don't really count it.
I think I need to do.
I liked 3 more than 2.
I think I need to do a watch party this month for Jurassic June.
I need to
at least one. But then I saw Jurassic World with my little brother, and Salty, you'll know, that's a great movie to see with your little brother if you have one. Yeah,
I'm gonna get.
Sure. No, they're all good. Go watch them with your whole family.
Well, no, because like the two characters who were in the
brothers?
ball.
Yeah.
We had a bonding moment. It was great.
Good. That's what movies are for.
It was the second greatest bonding moment. The best one is when, and we're going to talk about this in a little bit, The Last Jedi. I saw it for the second time, and I brought my kid brother to see it, and I was talking to my friend who's like he's a bigger Star Wars nerd than I am. I was like, "Hey, Dorian, watch his reaction to Flying Leia," and he's just like sitting there. What? It's one of the greatest things I've ever seen. The greatest reaction I've ever seen in a movie from him.
Oh my gosh.
But anyways, Star Wars is another one I've seen in opposite order. I don't even remember what the fuck I was talking about. I've been rambling for like 8 minutes, and people are like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? Sorry, Runner Studios. Sorry, Salty. I've not seen Fallen Kingdom. I've only seen the Jeff Goldblum parts.
I'm going to get real deep for a minute again, because I'm doing that a lot today, apparently.
Go ahead, and then we're gonna go on to the next, the last story, because I know we all got places to be, but yeah, dude, go for it.
The world going crazy is turning me into the British version of Alex Jones, I swear.
Interdimensional demons are stealing our kids.
I was gonna say, Spartan, can you do an Alex Jones impersonation?
Probably.
That one was pretty good though, Salty. That was really good. That sounded just
like pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Barrow took the guns. Stalin took the guns. And if you try to take our guns, 1776 will commence.
They're turning the frogs gay.
Oh God. Echo Base Network. Echo Base Network with a $199 super chat. Thoughts on the Robert Meyer Burnett situation? We actually covered that about 30 minutes ago. But if we can all just really quick, just give our, because this is a super chat. Why not give our quick thoughts on everything that happened, starting with Salty, and then we'll go down the line. It'll end with me. We'll just do it real quick.
I applaud Robert Burnett for what he said. I agree with him, and I do not believe he should be fired for saying that, however offensive it might be in 2020. But I think it was pretty ridiculous, and actually, it's pretty in line with Collider Video as of late. So it doesn't surprise me at all.
All right.
Okay. I think RMB is absolutely correct. I think how can you look at that video and not be outraged by it? He was absolutely right with his tweet. It's just virtue signaling bullshit and trying to be cool. Be the cool crowd, just exactly the way Harloff has been. I mean, he is a shill. That's who he is. He's a shill. And he's a virtue signaler, so fuck Harloff.
LaReina?
R&B was 100% spot on, and the fact that he got fired for being true.
Spartan?
Robert Meyer Burnett is a good man. who reacted to something that was so horrifying that no person should ever have to experience it. Unfortunately, he got played by the system, as we knew he would. Because in Hollywood, you're cool until you say something they don't like, and then you're gone.
Exactly, and the same goes with your peers as well. Your peers who you thought were your friends, but as soon as you say something that's out of line during an emotional period of time, you're out. You're out of the club. I've experienced that myself. Many other people have to a certain degree, but in all honesty, it was a really terrible situation, and he was just speaking from the heart. He was just like this guy's life, like, he matters too. Just because he's a cop doesn't mean he's not a part of this whole movement. Where is everyone outraged in that? I don't know. Apparently, it's just it doesn't matter until it's inconvenient to your narrative. So, yeah, that's.
I will be 100% politically incorrect because I can pull that privilege and do that. For groups like this, a black life only matters if a white person is accused of taking it.
No.
And that's it. If it doesn't fit that narrative, forget it.
All right. Well, again, go ahead.
I was going to say I've heard that sentiment shared by a lot of different people. You're 100% correct.
It seems that way.
Kind of, Will. kind of.
We're going really deep on this stream, considering we're just bullshitting.
Also considering like how we started this, and we're like, hey, we're not going to go too deep into this.
Yeah.
Then we end up doing it.
I swear we're not going to get political.
Oh, no, we're not. We're just like speaking from the heart. No, absolutely not. Like, but yeah.
This is the first time I've ever eaten a cheeseburger on a stream before.
Could not have said it better. 100% correct. I think you were using text-to-speech, and your text-to-speech is drunk. I'm guessing. I'm kidding. I'm assuming. Assuming it's. I'm assuming it's Nick. So it is. Yes. Yes. I don't know if yes. It's
Oh, that's funny.
No, we got what you meant. But anyways, oh my gosh. So the last thing we're going to talk about, and we're just going to do it pretty quickly, is or as quickly as we possibly can. I knew it was you. I knew it was. I know.
He knows these things.
The last thing that we're going to talk about, to end on a note that how all of these channels have gotten to prosperity, is our outrage on Star Wars. And of course, fuck CBR for their thing about Steve Rogers. But this is, that was worse, but this is also not very good. Why Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker deserves a proper sequel trilogy. Oh my goodness. I don't know how many people have seen this before, but I've seen Clownfish TV talk about it. And I was like, oh my God, this is a real thing. Rise of Skywalker was the end of the Star Wars Skywalker saga, but the film still deserves a proper sequel of its own, like The Force Awakens was to Return of the Jedi. Yes, indeed, I agree. Treat your characters like Rey with disrespect. Throw them under the bus. Ruin other characters. Yes, let's do that.
To be honest, that first line needs an asterisk in it. Until Disney needs more money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, indeed. The Rise of Skywalker was the conclusion of the epic 9-film Skywalker saga. The film closed the book on characters that fans first fell in love with in A New Hope and burned it alive. It closed it, burned it. Yeah, they said, fuck it, goodbye. End of story, goodbye, the end. Any questions? Sorry, we're not taking questions. Go fuck yourselves. And Lucasfilm has made it clear that it has no plans of revisiting these characters. Thank you. Whatever. But while Rey, Finn, Poe Dameron, and the rest of the Resistance succeeded in defeating Emperor Palpatine in the Final Order, the final moments of Episode 9 proved that as much as this was an ending, it was also the beginning of a new era for the Star Wars franchise. For that reason, Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is a film that, like Return of the Jedi, decades before it, deserves its own sequel.
Can we watch the movie they watched? Because we clearly did the same thing.
Oh, God. Decades after the conclusion of Return of the Jedi, Star Wars fans got a sequel trilogy beginning with The Force Awakens that showed them how their favorite characters had grown older and how they had coped with the continuing threat of the First Order. Terribly.
So the sequel trilogy is going to begin with, like, you know, a person of color tranny on a desert planet. And it's going to end with the person of color tranny, that their terminology, not mine. I'm sorry, trans person. It's going to end with Rey being hooked up to life support. If you kill me, then you win. And then then they kill her, and then it starts all over again.
Or they resurrect. I don't know.
They'll resurrect Palpatine again.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. That'd be fantastic. Use a different actor or use CGI technology. I don't know. However,
use Daisy Ridley. Put Palpatine makeup on her.
God. Why? However, an entirely new generation of fans was also introduced to the Star Wars universe with the sequel trilogy. These are young fans that recognize Finn, Rey, and Poe as their main Star Wars characters, and they deserve the chance to see how these characters continue to grow in the galaxy far, far away, just as fans of the original trilogy did.
No, they don't. No, they don't. Disney had their chance and they effed it up. So,
just as the fans of the original trilogy did. What does that mean to you guys? How do these characters? That's my first question. How do these characters end up then? How do they end up now? They're treating them. They deserve to see it the same way that they deserve that the fans of the original trilogy deserved. So how does Rey, Finn, and Poe end up? I'm curious. Very curious.
I don't even remember what happened to Poe and Finn at the end of the last movie. What happened to them?
They had a triangle hug.
I didn't even see the last movie, so I can't even comment. And I refuse to see the last one.
Probably a good idea.
Has it been spoiled for you already?
I've heard bits and pieces, but it's whatever. I
don't worry
don't
about
care at this point.
I'm Rey Skywalker.
Oh, God. Salty, it seems like you have something to say.
Let's do it.
You're looking very thoughtful there.
I'm gonna be a contrarian, just so that we're not just all saying the same thing. Let's do it. Why not? Maybe we'll actually have a good arc for these characters, right? Like Finn. Who doesn't want to see Finn actually do something in a trilogy? So yeah, give him a chance. Who wants to see some different villains? Let's have Rey go up against somebody who can actually fight back. Let's see it.
It can't be any
worse.
As
a villain or a hero?
Yeah, because
I don't care. As a hero, I don't care. It doesn't matter.
Well, as you know that with each trilogy, you had Qui-Gon as the mentor. Obi-Wan was he was the apprentice, and he grew, and then Anakin grew, and it was about him turning into Darth Vader. And then, of course, the original trilogy, we all know that. It was Luke's story, and then this trilogy was Rey's thing. And so it's going to be passing the baton to a new generation. And so if they're able to make it good, that's a good point. They're able to make it good somehow.
And that's the thing.
That'd be great. If somebody else, well, hold on a second. If someone is able to do the proper mental gymnastics in order to make sense of this Disney trilogy, then by God, please do it. Please do it. I support you 100%.
But
I doubt it.
I don't even know if you necessarily have to do that. I mean, in my opinion, the prequel trilogy did not do any compliments to the original trilogy. I know that's going to get a lot of heat nowadays.
Zero. Nothing.
It made Darth Vader into like this whiny little kid. Anakin was never intimidating, except for like maybe the last 15 minutes of the last movie.
I can understand that sentiment.
This is coming from somebody who grew up with the prequels, who grew up in a time and age where they were not popular. and they had reasons why they were not popular, and that's part of the reason why George sold the rights. He wasn't happy with the fan reaction. The fans weren't happy with it. That's part of history. I don't like nowadays people try to forget that, but it happened.
Yeah.
So if they can just make movies off of these characters, which in my opinion, I mean the concept of Rey, kind of cool, you know, this ex-Palpatine, she's got some super crazy powers. You got Finn, who's a defected stormtrooper. We still didn't get any justification or kind of cool storyline going with that. So let's give him something. And I liked Poe. I thought he was a cool pilot. He's obviously a drug runner at one point, so let's explore that a little bit. Show me those storylines. I don't know. I'm just why not? Why not?
That would be if somebody competent did it and it focused on them as sequel trilogy characters. They'd probably make
that's
them.
The issue that I have. It's just like, for example, with Finn. Took 3 movies, they hardly freaking did anything with him. So if you have somebody who can actually write and pull these characters out of the dumpster that they pretty much put them in and give them a complete story for a trilogy that is cohesive, I'll buy that.
I don't
have much faith in Disney to do it, but you don't know what could happen. That person who could do it could show up and do it.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. Like, there are kids who are growing up with this version of Star Wars, and that's what they like. I can't take that away from them. Just like I can't take it away from people who like the prequels.
That's a very good point. That's a very good point that you bring up, because I remember seeing this young little girl at Disneyland. It's a YouTube series.
Oh, she was dressed up as Rey, right?
No, she wasn't dressed up as Rey. This 2-year-old girl was running and like trying to find Rey. She's like, Rey. I was just like, it's this adorable little girl, and like the actress who's like playing Rey. It's just like so sweet. Remembers her name, and they visit a lot. And she's the actress who plays Rey in Galaxy was so sweet to this little girl. Even held her hand for a long time. And I just talking to her, just saying like, oh, I have to get back to the it's like being so in character. I'm like, these things, like it's kind of like Jar Jar in a different way. Like, I thought Jar Jar was the ADHD kid that I was as a kid. that was just absolutely nuts. Nobody liked, but was just like a comic relief in a way. People like me now because I'm medicated, but thank goodness. but at the same time, it's just that's not the reason why. But no, I mean, but the thing is, like, I did sort of have some connection to that character, even if it was just a comic relief. I had a connection to Qui-Gon because, it reminded me, of just, also Anakin, because I put myself in that situation, as a young kid, just like, okay, all right, I can buy that, I guess. And this one kid is trying to it doesn't understand anything that's going on. I didn't understand anything that was going on. I just found the VHS in my parents' basement, and I was like, okay, cool. Attack of the Clones is already out. I was like, oh, right, can't wait for episode 3. It's not out yet. But my uncle was like, hey, there are more, right? I'm like, really? And they're better. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing.
Imagine if that little girl that you were talking about at Galaxy's Edge grows up to be this phenomenal writer, and she writes a screenplay about her hero, Rey, and this whole trilogy of Rey, Finn, and Poe, and it comes out freaking awesome. 20 years from now, they have a fantastic trilogy. Why not?
That's right. And you bring a fantastic positive vibe to that conversation. And I thank you for that, because, like as much cynicism as I have for these characters, and as much as I want them to be as much as I want Rey to be absolutely ruined and destroyed, turns out like, oh, I give up. Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be fantastic. It's just like a big FU, but that would be a big FU to fans of these newer.
I'm just saying, man. Like,
but it's like one of those things where like you can't blame somebody for if they were a kid of the prequels, and like those movies. You can't blame them for liking them because they were kids. I can't blame this little girl who's running around Galaxy's Edge holding hands with Chewie and Rey and just absolutely loving it. I can't take that away from kids. Like, you're absolutely right when it comes to that.
So I don't know, man. I'm just trying to put that out there. I mean, especially if people like us who don't like these characters, they come out with a trilogy of them. We're like, okay, well, I don't have to watch those then. So they can just be their own thing. I don't know. I mean, the Star Wars completionists who watch everything will probably be upset at that. But, if it can be done and it can be done well and it can make maybe even these sequel trilogy movies better somehow, why not? Explore the options. Explore the characters a little bit more. I, for one, really would like to see more from Finn. I'd like to explore the hint that he got, was force sensitive. I mean, it's a tragedy that he didn't have a good enough arc in this trilogy to explore that. So if we get a new one, we're like, hey, Finn becomes a Jedi. I'm down. Let's go.
Shellback, I don't know if that's for sure, but that definitely could be a very high possibility.
Everything's a photo op at Disneyland.
Yeah,
pretty much. Aren't one of Ray's a-holes according to Park? I don't know. I know what they were talking about. Hold on. Excuse me. I'm a part of Park Hoppin'. No one has covered the Disneyland stuff. No one has covered it yet. I mean, like in terms of like going to those parks, they like we have not been there yet. So I used to be out there. I'm not anymore. So I can't tell you about that. All I can say is what I've seen. What the last couple of times I went, Jeremy of Geeks and Gibbons was with me, and we saw the same thing. We saw the same thing at Galaxy's Edge. Gary, Nerdrotic, we were there too. We were in the Millennium Falcon. I was in the Chewie seat. It was fun. It was great in that Falcon ride. But other than that, it didn't feel like Star Wars, except until we got into the cantina, which is kind of fun. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. But no one has, like, from the Park Comment channel, no one has gone to those parks recently because, first off, they're not open, and two, I wasn't a part of it at the time. There was nobody from there, so I can't really speak on that. So that's. I just want to say that's slightly inaccurate.
I would like to say what. I'll say one thing regarding the this possible sequel trilogy.
Yeah.
When The Force Awakens was announced, many people who saw and didn't like the prequel trilogy probably said what I'm about to say now. It can't be any worse, right?
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Don't challenge him. Don't challenge him.
I did not expect to get with The Last Jedi what I saw on the screen. So
yeah.
No, not at all. LaReina, I thought you were. I didn't mean to interrupt you earlier, but you were about to say something way before I interrupted you.
I don't know if they were talking about the cast member.
Yeah, the cast member Ray was just really nice with like that little girl. And
there was one, and I want to say, because I forget which stream that I was on, and Drunk 3PO actually shared the video. There was a cast member portraying Ray who wasn't exactly what I would say. How'd you put it? Kind of out of the norm. Kind of like usually with cast members when they're as other characters, they're usually interacting with the person and with the kid, and there usually isn't an immediate cutoff at that point. But in that particular situation, this cast member was like, "Okay, I'm done. Next person."
Oh, and just shove the person out of the way.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm not sure if that's the same what you were. No, that was at Disney World, not Disneyland. So that's what I wanted to bring up. That.
Oh no, Disneyland is where I was talking about, where the Ray actress was holding the hand of the little girl.
Yeah. So what I was saying when they brought up and said, "Oh, weren't they an a-hole at Disneyland?" I'm like, no, that was Disney World. So that was just what I was bringing up.
Okay, but yeah, I mean, in general, like it's not a bad idea, but at the same time, it's just like it's already over, it's done, and people are trying to bring this up. It's not even been 6 months after the movie came out, and they're already thinking about episode 10, 11, and 12, which I don't think should ever exist. First off, I mean, the purity is already gone. Anthony Daniels is probably, let's just be honest. He'll probably be around for 10, but, I mean, if they take the time to do 11 and 12, there's no Anthony Daniels is C-3PO. John Williams is the composer of the Star Wars episodic episodes. Period. That's it. It's done.
It's funny.
It's over. And they fucked it up. And
Yeah.
if you really want to, if you really want to try to make it better, go ahead and do it. But those two consistencies, there's only there's literally two people who've been a part of all 9 episodes. Correct me if I'm wrong, anybody, please.
Nope.
Wait, Anthony
3PO and
Daniels
R2D2.
As
and-
C-3PO and John Williams as the composer.
Yeah.
Yep.
No other actor, no other director, not even George Lucas himself. Nobody has been a part of all 9 except for those 2.
Mhm.
I could be wrong. The chat, please correct me if I'm wrong.
I wonder if George Lucas's sales contract to Disney allows him to do parodies. I would love to see the George Lucas parody of the sequel trilogy.
I would too.
I find I want to bring it up in a way because it just occurred to me and it's kind of funny. But this article is sort of the only real reason we've had to talk about the sequel trilogy since it ended, which says a lot about the sequel trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
You mean about the future?
No, about the past, the sequel trilogy. This is the only real reason we've had to.
All
talk
these Back to the Future things keep coming up. I don't know why.
Well, that's just
but
us.
go ahead.
That's us as the original trilogy and prequel trilogy fans. Like, I'm sure there's a ton of a good section of the fandom that talks about these movies all the time.
Yeah.
Well, can't be I mean, as much as we'd like to, it can't be discounted that there are people who like these movies. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm never going to fault a child for liking what they like, and I'm not going to fault anybody for liking whatever trilogy they like. As long, I think the main point that we should consider is that as long as you're not an asshole about it, and look, shit talking is different from being a genuine asshole. Wait, you like Jar Jar? What is wrong with you? What's going on? But then saying oh, but seriously though, tell me, why do you actually like him? Why do you actually like him? I'm actually curious. You could say oh, you're dumb or whatever, but not as long as it's just in good faith, as long as it's just you're expressing oh, I don't agree with you, and I'm just doing it in a fun way. I think that's how dialogue can kind of happen a little bit more. And there's this big gap between Disney Star Wars fans and OG Star Wars fans, prequel Star Wars fans. But at the end of the day, and what I've learned when I went to Celebration last year. Last year was that there are people who flew out from New Zealand who, everyone, we're all Star Wars fans here. And the people who I met at that bar when I was getting some nice deep dish pizza, we're in Chicago, it was nice. I didn't want to go off and get Chinese food again. No thanks. I was staying in Chinatown, and so I was like, nah, no thanks, guys. You can do what you do. That's fine. But I met two guys from New Zealand who flew out all the way from there to come to Star Wars Celebration, and it was because that they found out that Disney was going to make more films, and that's why they got into the original Star Wars 6 films. That's why they loved it so much, and they were like, "Oh, there's going to be more." It's kind of like, and their argument was, it's kind of like when somebody brings up The Godfather. Oh, it's a movie I'm just going to see someday. The Godfather Part 4 comes out. Okay, maybe we should see the other movies. It's like one of those. By the way, there's only 2 Godfather movies. Just put that out.
Yeah.
Officially. But yeah, the reason, but I can't just in good faith say that they are not Star Wars fans because they came all the way from fucking New Zealand. That says a lot about what Star Wars does for different generations, for different people from different walks of life. And I can't take that away from anybody. As Salty had said, like, yeah, you can't take it away from the kids. You can't take it away from new fans who never experienced it when they were in school, because it was like a weirdo thing. You know, it's just like, oh, you're a Star Wars fan? Huh, nerd! Like, come on. Like, people got swirlies for that shit. You know, it's one of those things where I can't tell you what you can and can't like. I can say what I agree or disagree with, and we can have a discussion. And as long as you're able to have a discussion, then yeah, we're good. If you like just the animated series, cool. You're a Star Wars fan. You're part of the club. You're cool. But not if you say like, oh, if you like these things, oh, and you genuinely think it, and you genuinely think people are ridiculous for liking it, that's fine, and you can do it in a joking manner. But if you genuinely go out and say you are not a Star Wars fan if you like The Last Jedi, like, I understand it, but at the same time, I'm like, there's a whole other side to it. So that's where I'll end on that. Mm-hmm. What was that? Was that funny?
No, Tommy in the chat.
Oh, what'd he say? Are you confessing to getting a swirly? Not anymore. You can't even tell. But anyways, we're going to wrap it up. So first and foremost, Salty Nerd, tell us what you got going on.
It is Jurassic June, and we are dedicating this month to dinosaur movies. Hey, what's up, Wes? So, if you guys love dinosaurs, or if you love Jurassic Park trilogy, we have our full podcast all about the original 3 movies. It's up on YouTube and podcast platforms. You can go to saltynerdpodcast.com. That'll take you to whatever platform that you use, or saltynerdvideo.com will take you to my YouTube channel. Go there, subscribe, check out our videos. We have our full-length podcasts, which are like anywhere from 2 to 3 hours. And then what we do is we split those podcasts up into little tiny segments, and we release them throughout the week. So if you're only looking for like a 10 or 15-minute video, we have those there too. Coming up this coming week, we're going to be talking about the next set of trilogy movies, the Jurassic World trilogy and Battle at Rock. And then later on this month, we have a special podcast all about one of our favorite 80s superstars. And I haven't revealed who it is yet, so I'll let you guys guess. But tune into the podcast, subscribe, show some support. And we love talking about movies, and we like having a lot of fun and being salty about things.
Absolutely. And tell me off air. I want to be the only one who knows.
Okay.
Wes, since I highlighted you accidentally, let's go.
I am Wes Moody. I am Wes Moody of the Wes Moody Webcast. You can find me on youtube.com/Wes Moody Webcast and on patreon.com/Wes Moody Webcast, where I just introduced a new tier. The $10,000 a month tier, the Illuminati tax write-off tier. I know, limited. But I talk about pop culture, current events, occasional conspiracy theories, occasional car talk, and I will vlog about whatever the heck I want to because it is my webcast. And I'm here with Justin Proper, LaReina Creole, and Spartan Jeremy, and others every Thursday, 4 p.m. Pacific time. Thank you.
Absolutely. And the wonderful LaReina Creole, who's going to have a stream, the Queen's Council. Let's do this.
Yes. So hello, everyone. I'm LaReina Creole, and on Twitter. And finally, LaReina Creole here on YouTube. So I do have a YouTube channel, finally. Of course, you can find me here on This Week in BS on Thursdays at 7 p.m. Also at 9 p.m. So I'll be running to the other studio, 9 p.m. for the Queen's Council. Tonight, we're having some Star Wars fun about Darth Vader at work and whatever else we decide to talk about. You can also catch me on Saturdays at 7 p.m. on Arthur Stephen Walton's channel for Rogue Entertainment. Also on Mondays at 10 p.m. for Toxic Femininity over there on Midnight Edge. And Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m. for TR5. Wednesdays for the Babe the Menace coming up next week. And also I'm going to be streaming on Sunday at 8 p.m. talking about the first season of Game of Thrones. So please join us if you're so inclined. Follow me on Twitter and subscribe if you are so inclined. Thanks.
All right. All right. And Spartan Jeremy.
Hello. Thank
you. No, go ahead.
Damn it. Obviously, I've been here a while. You know me. I'm on Twitter. I talk a lot on Twitter. Probably getting an addiction by now. Probably not good for my health. But the truth hurts and it needs to be told in this day and age. Thank you.
Indeed. My name is Justin Proper. This has been This Week in Bullshit. Thank you all so much. I really appreciate it. And just for the heck of it, in the spirit of bullshit, here we go.